wasn't like the Lakers played great last night. Again, they're two Hall of Famers. When it combined 8 of 25 and scored 25 points.
I got a LeBron story real quick to the side.
8 of 25, 25 points. Did you like the LeBron story about how he goes to the weight room 4 hours before the game?
Oh,
or
yeah,
something,
I heard that.
Sweat?
And I want to tell our audience in the Bay Area something. I was at the club yesterday, and I was talking to some of the parking attendants. And did you know that the Cleveland Cavaliers used to practice at the club?
Olympic Club.
Yeah. LeBron James, total jerk to all the parking guys.
Really?
Yes. And then when the media was out front, nicest guy ever. Wouldn't turn and take a selfie, not on his phone, on someone else's phone, with a bunch of the guys. Total jerk. Bad tipper as well. Made me really look at LeBron a different way. No, it really did. There's nothing that, no, B, I'm going to tell you straight now.
Oh.
This is why I was so out on Brian Wilson, because I heard a story about him in a restaurant and how he's just kind of a jerk. Nothing makes me hate you quicker than being mean to people when you're on top of the world.
Right.
Unnecessarily.
No doubt.
It drives me crazy.
They didn't have a good game yesterday.
Chris Haynes.
And the Lakers they were trying to keep the Warriors in the game. Weren't like they were playing great. They were missing free throws. But then they got hot and said, you know what, Malik Beasley, go ahead and put these boys away. And Malik Beasley went 7 for 11 from the three-point line.
He looks good.
He was open all night, right?
He looks good.
I mean, the three-point shot was working for him.
You don't think he looked good?
He looked really good.
It
was a really good trade for the LA Lakers.
You don't think
D'Lo played 8 minutes yesterday and got hurt, and it didn't even matter. The Lakers had 5 players come off the bench and score double figures. Again, the Lakers shoot 33% from the three-point line on the season. They're 26th in the league. They make 10 a game. Yesterday, no problem. Let's just go 16 to 30, shoot 53% from three, and outshoot the Warriors from the perimeter. I mean, fast break points, 29 to 8. Free throws, 34 attempts to 21. I mean, everything that went wrong for the Golden State Warriors went wrong.
Can I ask what happened to Moses Moody? Because the caller 510, I had written this down. The texter right here on 510 Xfinity mobile text line 888-957-9570. How come Moody could play a couple of critical minutes in playoff games and literally can't sniff the court now?
You know why? I'll tell you why.
What happened?
Steve Kerr, and he almost did it with Kuminga, with the DMPs early in the season. Kuminga kept his confidence up. He kept working. Wiseman lost his confidence due to the lack of playing time, and Moody's right there with him. Moody's right there with him. You don't know if you're getting traded or not. You're not playing. You're watching Anthony Lamb and Ty Jerome steal all your minutes, and you're just stuck on the bench. And then you go back to the G League, and we heard Frank Isola said, "Look, man, when you're a lottery pick, and you go to the G League 2 years in, that's a blow to your ego. It's a blow to your confidence."
Well, we used to file it, but 1 second. We used to file it under, well, this is a championship team. And so last year, you know what? The record was really good. It makes sense. We don't have a lot of minutes. What's the excuse this year?
No, there is no excuse. There is no excuse on why he didn't play. Because now we don't even know what Moses Moody is.
Then why didn't you deal him at the deadline?
Right. You don't even know what he is. Can he be a stretch three? Can he hit the three?
I don't even know.
Can he handle the ball? Can he go to the rack? Can he play defense? I have no idea what Moses Moody is.
I know he can play better. He can play better defense on the perimeter and stop ball better than Ty Jerome.
You would think.
I mean, like, we're acting like this thing. The obsession with the 6-foot guards is driving me nuts. They need some size. They don't have any size. Vanderbilt is not the greatest player in the world. He's got length and size. Like, that's the kind of acquisition. If you don't like Moses Moody or he can't fit your team, you needed to know way more quicker than where you're at right now. Like, right now, he's another guy. You want to talk about money? Oh, we saved the $4 million, the difference between Gary Payton and James Wiseman. It'll save you $36 million. What about the $5 million Moses Moody's making?
I know.
And the $45 million in luxury tax for next year. Where's that, like, cap relief?
But again, you don't play Moses Moody, so he loses his confidence. Forget the money. Forget the luxury tax stuff.
I don't like talking about the money, but I'm saying that's the narrative.
I hear that. Forget the narrative. The fact is, Moses Moody got sent to the G League. You don't think that hurt his pride and confidence?
It did.
And now, when you go into the game, and this is what happens with youngsters, we see it every year in every sport. Football, baseball, you get a little more lenient. You get a little more leeway. But in football and basketball, you're a youngster, and you make a mistake. What do? Look over at the sideline to see if you're getting pulled.
100%.
You look over at the scorer's table to see if somebody's coming in. You make a mistake, you're like, oh no, Steve Kerr's bringing somebody in. Moody and Kuminga and Wiseman, when he was here, kept looking over. Oh my God, if I make a mistake,
I'm
getting yanked from this basketball game. And you can't play like that.
Malik Beasley, who's 26 or 27 years old, been in the league a long time, right? he missed a couple of threes, and then Darvin Ham, he was mic'd up. And I'm telling you, this one stuck out to me. He goes, no, fam, that's why we got you. Something like that. Fam, that's why we got you. We want you to shoot. I want you to keep shooting. Right. And I was like, that to me was like a metaphor for everything the Warriors haven't done with a lot of the guys on their roster.
How about Malik Beasley picking up 2 quick fouls in the third quarter? It's 9:48 left in the third quarter. Malik Beasley has 4 fouls. I'm watching the game. I'm like, oh, man, Ham's going to have to pull him. This is great for the Dubs. Ham's like, yo, chill.
Yeah.
Just keep playing, homie. I got you. We're going to put these boys away. And they put them away in the third quarter. Steve Kerr's waving a white flag early in the fourth for national TV.
The thing that frustrates me, here's the part that frustrates me.
Hold on, let me get the legal there real quick, Shasky. Let me get the legal. You are listening to 95.7 The Game. KGMZ FM at HU1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best, most up-to-date sports coverage. What you got?
So, like, you say, like, oh, these young guys, they make a mistake, they look over, and they're out.
Has it not happened?
But Anthony Lamb missed 6 shots last night, and he's still playing.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense to me.
That's why.
That
and I know
doesn't make
people
any
are like,
sense.
you're picking on these guys. No, what I'm saying is that exactly, there's not equal treatment.
The Dallas
what are we
game.
accomplishing?
Was it the Dallas game? It was a recent home game.
Okay.
Kuminga gets beat backdoor.
Yes, and he called the timeout.
Steve Kerr pulls the timeout. Yanked him. He only played 13 minutes that night. This entire roster has been getting beat backdoor. This entire roster all season long has been getting backdoor. But, let Kuminga do it. There's too much favoritism towards the veterans, and I get
totally
it.
agree.
Because they've won you championships. I get that.
Yeah, but the veterans were the same ones. See, this is the part where I
the veterans are the same ones who got you off to the 3-7 start.
Exactly.
And nobody wants to admit it. Because everybody's scared of the veterans.
Thank you.
All right, we go back. You want to go back to the Charlotte game? You want to go back to the Orlando game? You want to go back to the Miami game? You want to go back to all these games that they've blown down the stretch? The veterans.
I know I've been highly critical of Clay for the first 2 months of the season, and he's been really efficient offensively. Defensively, he leaves a lot to be desired. There's just you can't argue.
He's not the same
I know
guy.
you can't argue it, but I can argue this. I get it. You're coming off of devastating injuries, but part of their early season struggles was you not being ready at the beginning of the year.
No doubt.
And so we can sit here and argue about the 200 minutes that Wiseman played and how bad he was. And no, what about the hundreds of minutes in the first 2 months that Clay, Dre punching the lights out of a teammate, Jordan Poole's inconsistency, Wiggins not being available now for a couple of months? Like, yes, as much as the young guys, we can have this big conversation philosophically about how much they should play. To me, the bigger issue is you're not as good with the top 6 as you were last year.
No doubt. Not even close. Let's go to Sozi in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hopefully you're staying warm up there. Last time we were in Minnesota for a layover, it was 6 degrees. It was freezing. Sozi, is that the name? What's up, Sozi?
Hello, Monte. My bad. I had a flu, so
it's all good.
My question is, I know the whole season we were talking about the young guys are not playing, and we had this, we had that, but we had 9 days off, and when we came back last night, still we were playing turnover, fouling, no defense. Same things we have been suffering all season. My question is, I don't know if we're gonna play the playoff this season, but what about if we don't make? What's next? What's next? I just want to know what's next in next season.
Well,
everything's on the table.
I think if the Warriors don't make the playoffs, this is going to be the most fascinating off season for the Golden State Warriors since probably 2016 when they landed Kevin Durant. But it's going to be a different type of fascination. You're going to see probably the end of the big three.
Well, thank God you traded away a guy who may or may not be any good for a guy who can help that big three that you're ready to send out the door go for a marginal saving on the luxury tax. Thank God you did that. I mean, it's a good thing you got GP2 for next year when half of them won't be here because he can't help you this year. Thank God you completed that trade. And thank God Steph Curry put out a slideshow, slurping Gary Payton Jr.'s return. You don't think the young guys saw that? You don't think Moody and Kuminga saw, oh, my God, the young guy gets shipped out. These guys could care less about the young guy.
Well, it has been that feeling this season where it feels like the Warriors have 2 different teams. You got the veterans, and then you got the youngsters. Instead of all them meshing together. It's been the veterans doing their thing and the youngsters. And I think and you look at the youngsters, Jordan Poole seems to be the leader of that youngster crew, right?
Yes.
He seems to be the guy who's been here for 4 years.
I agree
He's
with
that bridge. Yes. He's that bridge between the vets and the youngsters. And those youngsters saw what happened in training camp. And they saw who was held accountable. And they saw what happened with lack of suspensions. We saw what happened on the court where veterans get to be demonstrative, but youngsters can't. Veterans blow backdoor assignments, and look, they're going to get a lot of leeway. They deserve it. They've been in this league for a long, long time, and the youngsters have yet to prove themselves. But it does feel like there's been 2 different squads. this season. It's been the youngsters and the whole two-timeline thing and the veterans. And now, if you don't make the playoffs, because it's a reality. Like, yesterday we were talking about it, right? 24 games left, 14 over 500.
What did I say?
What did I say, Shask? I said 14 games against teams over 500, and that doesn't include the new-look L.A. Lakers.
You asked me if you could bet, would you go they're going into the top 6 or missing the playoffs completely? I'm telling you, for every game Wiggins is out, while simultaneously Curry's out, I think they're losing all of them. I don't see a good team. This is not a good team. Like, B, what do they do well besides chuck threes?
Crickets.
All right, one last thing. This is the thought.
They don't play. They don't do anything well right now.
Okay, there we go. Now
they don't do anything well.
They're extremely awesome at being inconsistent. If I'm Joe Lacob, if I'm the one who's got all the cutting of the checks, even though we do direct deposits these days, my God, I'd be sitting there steaming.
Well, I guarantee you,
steaming over what I'm watching this year.
I guarantee you, Joe Lacob is not happy. Because he loved Wiseman. He did love Kuminga. Hell, he wanted Kuminga to play in the finals. He did. But the lack of playing youngsters, DNPs, blowing leads, everything that's happened this season. And so Sozi in Minneapolis saying, what's going to happen in the offseason? We don't know if Bob Myers is going to be back. We don't know if Steve Kerr is going to be back. We don't know if Draymond Green's going to be back. There could be hell, we don't even know if Jordan Poole is safe here. I don't know if Andrew Wiggins is safe. Everything's going to be on the table this offseason.
Let me paint one little other picture that I couldn't help but think about last night. It's June. It's the NBA Finals. And the Warriors, for whatever, we don't know what happens with Bob and all those guys you're referencing. And what if Kevin Durant wins it all? You don't think that'll be just a one last jab and twist of the knife?
I mean, the Warriors got their championship last year.
I know,
but
I'm just saying for a lot of Warrior fans.
If he wins it, and now Phoenix is in the driver's seat saying, you know what? Booker's not going anywhere. Ayton's not going anywhere. Things flip quickly in the NBA, so you got to make some moves here. We got to pray that Kevin Durant doesn't win it. I didn't even think about that.
I'm actually rooting for KD. If the Warriors get knocked out, I'm going to tell you on the front, I will be rooting for KD. Not for CP3. I will just be rooting for him.
Why?
The way I rooted for T.O. on
Why just KD?
Because I like KD. I've always liked KD.
I love
He's
KD
been one
too,
of my favorite players ever.
Why KD?
I want to see him get his just due. Like, I do feel like nationally they underrate him, which is crazy to me.
Well, they say he ran. All right, we got a break here. All right, we'll continue.
And I'm grateful for him coming here.
Nick Oreo Cookie, I'm very grateful for him.
He's one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah, no doubt. He is. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Nick Oreo Cookie, 888-957-9570. We're going to take your calls all show long. What is going on with the Golden State Warriors? Are you in full doom panic mode? Is this it? What's your biggest gripe so far about the Warriors 59 games in? And what's your gripe about last night? They get blown out at Crypto.com Arena. So we're going to continue to talk about that. Plus shameless shout-outs, 745. Shout out your high schools. A lot of high school playoffs. We're getting a lot of emails because we want you guys to let us know about the biggest games and stories in the Bay Area prep scene. Email us right now at hss@957thegame.com. Sacred Heart Cathedral against Sarah in the CCS Open Championship. How about them apples? Yeah. Sacred Heart Cathedral playing Sarah down at Santa Clara University Friday night at 8 o'clock. What other high school games are going on? Girls basketball, soccer, you name it. Email us at hss@957thegame.com and be featured on the Prep Riley podcast and debuts next week. But what's coming up on the game? Sponsored by Fremont Bank. Full service banking, no compromises. Your phone calls, 888-957-9570. And by the way, happy birthday to my mama, Mama Hill.
Really?
It was her birthday yesterday. Yeah, I almost forgot. Happy birthday, Mom. Becky Tyndall. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday yesterday. Happy belated.